The member for Maylands.
Thank you, Acting Speaker. I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we gather today, the Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation, and pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. I also acknowledge the ongoing connection that First Nations people have to land, water and culture, and the rich and enduring knowledge systems that have cared for country for tens of thousands of years. As a representative in this place, I recognise that meaningful reconciliation must go beyond words, through truth-telling, through treaty, and through structural change that supports justice and self-determination for First Nations people. Acting Speaker, may I request an extension of time?
Extension granted.
It was a tip I got earlier today. It is with deep humility and great pride that I stand here today as the member for Maylands, representing the community I call home. I thank the people of Maylands for placing their trust in me to be in this place and beyond. The Maylands electorate is the heart of the inner east. Hugging the banks of the Derbarl-Yurigan, the electorate is made up of the suburbs of Maylands and Inglewood, Bedford and Bayswater, Embleton and a portion of Morley. The electorate is rich in diversity, a diversity of cultures, ethnicities, sexual orientations and religions. But what truly makes Maylands special is not just the diversity itself, but the way our community embraces it. Tolerance, inclusiveness and compassion are values that run deep in the electorate. And at a time when we are seeing these values challenged around the world, I am proud to stand for a community that holds on to them with pride. Born in Victoria in the same year Star Wars was released, a member for Perth, and Elvis died, I was 4 months old when Dad accepted a new job with 6IX and we moved to Perth. Thank you, Mum and Dad, Julie and Ted, for your decision to do that and for your love and support, along with Ben, Tom and Alexi. Other than 1 year in Adelaide when I was in year 2, I grew up in the West. And to be honest, I do feel like a sandgroper. I will admit that I tried to barrack for the big V in the 80s, state of origin clashes between WA and Victoria, but deep down I've always been a West Aussie. Now, back in 1989, when Madonna's Like a Prayer topped the charts, I was a kid growing up in North Perth, sporting a rat's tail haircut that my mum definitely did not approve of, so much so that I had to sneak off to the barber to pay for it with my own pocket money. Growing up in North Perth and attending a local public school, Kyella, that year we got the chance to do a music test, to see anyone in class was up to the task of learning an instrument. Luckily, I find myself okay at music, and so I managed to get a decent enough score in that test, and so got to choose to learn either the classical guitar or the French horn. Not to be prejudiced towards having the opportunity to learn the likes of classical gas, it was actually the horn for me. Mostly because I saw myself as a future saxophone player for Dire Straits, and the horn felt like that was going to keep the dream alive more than choosing an instrument that you strum. So that was that. To my surprise though, I fell in love with that instrument quickly, studying it through my schooling and through to university. Now, why would I share this story? What I've found is that through my life, from the time I took that test in 1989, any opportunities that have arisen for me, any successes I've managed to achieve, doors that I have had the fortune to open for me, have always been able to be traced back to music in one way or another. But what was it that opened that first door? To have the seeming unlikely opportunity to have the world of music presented to me. It was the public school system. And I truly believe that had I not attended that small public school around the corner from where we lived, and had I not had the opportunity to take that seemingly innocuous music test in 1989, even despite my rat's tail, I would not be standing here in this place as the new member for Maylands today. Accordingly, I'm excited about the opportunities that are ahead for the next generation of Western Australians because of the strong WA Labor education and schools policies that were laid out in the recent election campaign. Policies that are rooted in Labor values of fairness and equality, ensuring that all children, no matter their background, get access to quality and affordable education. Policies that will see out-of-school hours care for the community of the Maylands Peninsula Primary School become a reality, supporting working families. And policies that will see critically needed air conditioning be installed into classrooms at Embleton Primary School. It is a Cook Labor government that will truly invest in our public schools, helping to create opportunities for the next generation, just as it was the public school system that was critical for the opportunities I've been given. I feel really fortunate to have had some amazing experiences through music and opportunities that have emerged to me because of music, even when those opportunities, on first blush, don't necessarily seem obviously due to music. However, having a legal career as well as a local government career, I owe in at least some part to music. I've also had unique opportunities to tour many towns and cities in Western Australia and Australia, as well as countries abroad, both in the classical world as well as banging keyboards in the back of rock and roll bands. This was a number of years ago now, and while my touring days are long gone, my passion for music and the arts certainly is not. The Maylands electorate is home to many, many artists and musicians, classical players and contemporary, sculptors, dancers, painters, photographers, designers, writers, filmmakers, creatives. The list goes on and on. It's also home to some amazing arts organisations: WA Ballet, WA Jazz Youth Orchestra, the Inglewood Arts Hub, Roxy Lane Theatre, Ellis House, Laneway Art Space, and many dancing schools like the Performance Company, whereby my own daughter Willow dances, probably just about every day of the week to be honest, just to name a few, as well as some terrific live venues like Lyrics Underground and Milk Bar at the Civic Hotel. This results in a progressive local community rich in creativity. And as someone who has worked in the industry, I am passionate about the importance of supporting artists and people who work in the creative industries. I know this government understands this as well, and I'm excited about the opportunities to work with Maylands creatives over the course of the next 4 years. Chin chin. Yeah, it was about 3 minutes too late. My wife Nissa and I, along with our 2 kids, Willow and Harrison, moved to the Maylands electorate in 2011, and we immediately fell in love with the local community. A few years later, I had the honour of being elected as a local councillor to the City of Bayswater, and over the course of nearly a decade, I've had the fortune of representing many portions of the Maylands community in that role, including as Mayor for 4 of those years. Working within and getting to know these communities was a central inspiration for me to run for State Parliament, to be able to represent and lift the voices of local communities in this place. During my time as councillor and mayor, along with fellow councillors and working with the local community, we achieved a lot together, both in good times and more challenging times. And there was no tougher time than when COVID-19 hit back in 2020. Like everyone, our community faced unprecedented challenges. But I saw locals rally around each other and have each other's backs. As mayor, I knew we had to act quickly to support our community. The council and I resolved to take immediate steps to do just that. We established a community care team that reached out to older and vulnerable residents, ensuring they were supported and had what they needed. To ease the financial pressure, we froze rates and introduced a hardship policy for those most affected. And we knew that many local businesses were hit hard, so we provided direct financial support where we could. On top of that, we approved a local economic and social stimulus package designed to promote employment, create jobs, and build our community's capacity for the future. This included key infrastructure projects like the redevelopment of Maylands Waterland, investing in the future of our community. But it wasn't just during the tough times. As Mayor and Councillor, I've been committed to ensuring that our area is a thriving, inclusive and sustainable place to live. We focused on inclusivity, such as through maintaining access and inclusion committees, giving a voice to marginalised groups, including people with disabilities, multicultural communities and the LGBTQIA+ communities. As part of our reconciliation journey, we introduced an Aboriginal Advisory Committee, which led to the City of Bayswater's Reconciliation Action Plan, a crucial step towards a more inclusive and welcoming area. We also made strides in environmental sustainability, including developing a sustainability and livability framework, an emissions reduction and renewable energy strategy, and an urban forest strategy, significantly increasing the amount of trees being planted year on year. Much of this was achieved through working closely with local environmental activists and community groups, and the electorate is fortunate to boast many such groups, such as Friends of Clawton Reserve, Friends of Globber Lake and Friends of Eric Singleton Bird Sanctuary, Environment House, Bag Up Wetland Interest Group, Friends of Barton Park, Friends of Mayland Sandfires, Friends of Swan Lake, Baringa Park Friends Group, Friends of Maylands Lakes and Friends of Inglewood Triangle. These volunteers work tirelessly to rehabilitate the many sensitive ecological areas, building resilience within those ecological communities, improving biodiversity and fighting the climate crisis. At this point, I'd like to take a moment to deeply thank my family. As everyone here would be well aware, the pursuit of politics is unachievable without your family's support. Nis, my wife, is an absolutely remarkable person. In addition to supporting me and our kids, Nis is a lecturer at the UWA Law School, having completed her honours in identifying shortcomings in the Australian trademark regime that results in a failure to protect First Nations people's traditional cultural expressions as trademarks. And she is currently at the tail end of completing a PhD in the effect and effectiveness of using social media as an alternative means of seeking recourse for designers who've had their work stolen by large companies. Thank you so much, Nis, for your unwavering support. I love you. Will, the oldest of our two, is developing into an amazing young adult, kicking goals at school and passionately pursuing her love of dancing. And Harrison has, the younger of our two, working it all out and maturing day by day. A guy with a combined passion for animals and animal conservation, as well as a love of art and drawing. Thank you, Will and Haz, for your continued support and patience as your dad does this politics thing. I love you both. I would also like to take a moment to acknowledge and thank another young man in our family's lives, Jordan Jose. We have neurodiversity in our family, and Jordan is Haz's support worker, mentor and friend. I want to acknowledge the important work of support workers and how they actually transform people's lives. They are a cohort of workers who quietly go about doing important things for lots of people, and I want to extend my gratitude to the support worker industry and support workers around our state. Thank you for your work. I also want to acknowledge the important work the United Workers Union does representing support workers, campaigning on behalf of support workers to ensure that they receive the fair pay and conditions, safe workplaces, job security, quality training, career progression and the respect at work that they deserve. Autistic and neurodiverse people can contribute so much to our society, but we also know that they face challenges every day as they try to get along in a world that just has not been designed with them in mind. The use of coping mechanisms like masking and medication only help so much. However, there are opportunities to improve the lives of people who are neurodiverse. As someone in a family with autism, PDA and ADHD, I see firsthand the challenges that neurodiverse people and their families can face. There is a community out there though, and there are supports out there too. Neurodiversity is a superpower, and our communities are richer as a consequence of the valuable contributions autistic and other neurodiverse people make. I am proud to be part of this Cook Labor government as it looks to implement vital policies that will ensure that, with the right training, GPs will be able to diagnose ADHD and prescribe treatment to people with ADHD. And I would also like to acknowledge the important work that was undertaken in the last term of government by the Education and Health Standing Committee, who undertook an inquiry into support for autistic children and young people in schools, entitled A Different Kind of Brilliance. The result of the inquiry was to identify opportunities for the state school system to grow and evolve in a way that better and more consistently supports autistic students and their families, as well as teachers, education assistants and other staff. I'm hopeful that recommendations provided within the report are able to be implemented, and I look forward to working in this government to assist in that where I can. Because at the end of the day, it is so important that we do all we can to make sure neurodiverse people and their families are supported so that everyone can have the most enriching and successful lives possible, ensuring there are enduring opportunities, allowing all people to contribute to society in a meaningful way. Before I say some thank yous, it would be remiss of me not to spend a few moments discussing the substantial nature of Metronet within the Maylands electorate. With the recent introduction of the Ellenbrook line and opening of the new Morley Metronet station, Maylands now boasts 4 train stations. In addition to Morley, you will find Maylands, Meltham and the newly upgraded Bayswater station, the second largest in the network. This is transformative, with lines now running to Midland, the airport and Ellenbrook. And what it means is that more locals than ever within the electorate can access affordable public transport. Time and time again, during the recent election campaign, as I door-knocked in Embleton, the number of people who told me that their lives had changed in such a positive way because of the new Morley station was absolutely remarkable. But what is also exciting are the future housing opportunities that these Metronet stations create. And by embracing these opportunities, we have the potential to create generational benefits for the residents of Maylands. With Development WA already having completed the precinct and zoning planning around the Bayswater station, and with the master planning and rezoning around Morley station progressing, these opportunities for new, diverse and affordable housing within the electorate is clear and apparent. Allowing more people to live near train stations, but also near thriving town centres, and with the ability to live near the city, near the river, near the airport, and near commercial and industrial areas, allowing people to live, work and play locally, means more people and families from a tapestry of backgrounds can enjoy a more enriching and fruitful life, contributing to the local economy and the local community. I look forward over the course of my term to do what I can to help drive opportunities for diverse, affordable and social housing situated close to these nodes, creating opportunities for more people to live in the inner east from a range of backgrounds, cultures and socio-economic circumstances. As I mentioned earlier, politics is a team pursuit, and my election win was in no small part because of the following people. Thank you to my incredible campaign team, a group of people who have been nothing short of amazing and who work tirelessly. The Honourable Alana Clossie, MLC, Sarah Rowan, Rhiannon Italiano, Brenda McGrath, Cale Black, Chloe Sanderson, Fran Hickling, Steph Gray, Nicolette Lenehan and Dennis Lidlow. I would also like to thank Mark Sandler, Callum Ellery, Hamish Snade, Matteo Rosero, Don O'Doherty, Tom Rolls, Glennis Addy, Mariah Van Hemmet, Dom Rose, Kim Coolis, Judy Edwards and Mark Reed. To the volunteers, your energy and dedication was critical to the campaign's success. Whether you door-knocked, made phone calls, letterboxed, took or constructed yard signs, delivered signs, took photos or videos, were in the photos or videos, handed out flyers at train stations or at school gates, or how to vote cards at pre-poll and polling booths across the electorate, or helped with events. Each volunteer played a crucial role. To everyone who donated to my campaign and helped fundraise, thank you for your generous contributions. Thank you to members who have supported me throughout my time in public office as a councillor through today. In particular, Minister Sanderson, Minister Carey, the member for Bassendean, Dave Kelly, the Honourable Alana Clossie MLC, the Honourable Pierre Yang MLC, and Federal Member, the Honourable Patrick Gorman MP. A special thank you also to Marlene Robertson, Freeman of the City of Bayswater, for her mentorship, support and friendship throughout that time. A huge thank you to our Labor-affiliated unions, in particular the Finance Sector Union, Jason Hall, Adam Fay and Di Marshall, and the United Workers Union, Carolyn Smith and Dom Rose, for your ongoing support. Thanks to everyone at campaign headquarters who kept everything operating seamlessly behind the scenes, and finally to the voters and everyone in the seat of Maylands. Whether you supported me or not, I thank you for participating in the election. Your voice matters, and I'm committed to working hard for each and every one of you. For almost 10 years, I've had the privilege of serving parts of the community of the seat of Maylands as a local councillor, and now I am incredibly honoured and humble to begin a new chapter in this state parliament. Throughout that time, one thing has been abundantly clear. The challenges we face as a community can't be solved by any one individual, organisation or level of government alone. They require deep collaboration, a spirit of working together, listening to each other and building trust across different perspectives. I've seen firsthand the extraordinary power of people coming together, neighbours supporting neighbours, local groups organising for change, businesses partnering with community organisations, volunteers giving their time, energy and skills to make a difference. In Maylands, our strength lies in our ability to come together to harness the diverse talents, perspectives, experiences and passions of our people. As the member for Maylands, I will always bring that spirit of collaboration to the table. I believe that real progress happens when we involve our community meaningfully in shaping our future, when we value and elevate the voices of local residents, community, arts and sporting groups and businesses. Collaboration isn't just a nice idea, it's the foundation for lasting positive change. It's how we build a stronger, fairer, more resilient community, and it's how we'll meet the opportunities and challenges ahead together. With a focus on supporting locals with the rising cost of living, investing in our health system and in local schools and education, making public transport more accessible and affordable, supporting the arts, and ensuring our local clubs and community groups get the support they deserve, I'm ready to work for the people of Maylands each and every day. Thank you.
Very smart.
What we're aiming for.
Howdy, neighbour. Well done, mate. Well done, Hughes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. That might be, it's fucking generic, that's right.
Do you know
All right, thank you, members.